Hi, Leo. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for November 2019. For you, Leo, this month is going to have a lot of activity around home life and also some in creativity and fun and some communication as well. Julia, what are your thoughts about Venus and Mars this month for Leo?
Ooh, exciting month for Leo. Well, hey, Leo. Venus is going to be entering Sagittarius, which is actually your natal fifth house, on November 1st. And the fifth house, what is that? It's a house of romance. It's a great time for dating when the planet of love, which is Venus, actually enters the fifth house. And the fifth house has a lot to do with games, sort of activities, sports, amusement of all kinds. So you might feel like very social and getting out there and kind of enjoying sort of outdoor fun activities. And also, if you have a creative side to you as well, the fifth house is a very artistic, performative house. And Venus, also being an art planet, will really give you a boost to any sort of personal passion projects you might have. Now, the next planet I want to talk about is Mars, which is the planet of activity. It's our drive. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning. And when Mars starts in Libra, when the month begins, and that's going to be in your natal third house. The third house is the house of communication of all types, as well as siblings and your neighborhood. So you might just put a lot more energy and fervor in what you have to say. If you're writing something, if you are blogging or vlogging, you can just feel really, really energized to communicate. But Mars energy can be a little bit tricky because sometimes people can get a little overly passionate, even a little bit contentious too. So if you have kind of arguments with people this month, might affect siblings because that's third house, maybe even neighbors too. So try to watch what you say when you say it. And then on November 18th, Mars enters Scorpio, which is actually in your natal fourth house. That's the family. That's the house of family and the house of home. And when Mars comes into this house, the best way to sort of use the Mars-like energy in the domestic sphere is to try to just get a lot of home projects done. You'll feel a bit more activated when you're in the home place. Like, yeah, I totally want to just cook up a big dinner or repaint the living room. But sometimes frustrated Mars energy can kind of turn into conflict as well. So, they're also, just watch out for any potential arguments with housemates you have, family members, and the like. And what else is going on this month, Jamie?
Well, I just want to center right in on that Mercury because Mercury's retrograde this month in Scorpio. It's bound to be dicey for all of us. And for you, Leo, that is happening in your fourth house of home, family, domestic life, heritage, roots. And this could have some pretty far reaching results. It could be that you get a call from that relative that you haven't talked to in years for some very good reason. It could be that you have something that you really need to clear the air about at home. Um, so Mercury retrograde is really a good time for cleaning up old communications and bringing communications current. In Scorpio, there's often a big emotional charge attached to things. And so this could be really a time for purging, for cleansing, for releasing a lot of things that maybe you haven't said before or that you haven't been able to hear. And yeah, it's going to be an emotional process, but it always works best when everybody concerned is not on the attack and willing to be vulnerable and willing to really hear and even to change. So this could be a really powerful house cleaning, really, for your home life, the home that you live in now as an adult, and it could even be an opportunity to clean up some very old stuff from childhood. So there's going to be a special part of this Mercury retrograde period, which is called Epiphany Day. That's my name for it. Because it's the day that Mercury traveling backwards connects. Let me do it this way. Mercury traveling backwards connects with the sun moving forward, and they meet in a burst of insight and aha, like the light bulb going off over your head. So if things are all tangled up because of Mercury retrograde, this is a day when the puzzles can get solved, when clarity can come. when whatever you've been researching with that, Scorpio detective mind um, can be unearthed and see the light of day. So then the next event that happens with Mercury is that Mercury goes direct. And that happens a little later in the month, right about here, around the 20th, 21st. And after that, we can expect things to sort of ease out and smooth out. But it takes a little while. It takes usually about a week until, all those things are finally laid to rest. Now, there are a couple of lunations that are also of interest. One of them happens on the 12th when the moon in Taurus, right up here in your 10th house of career, opposes the sun in Scorpio down at the bottom of the chart in your 4th house of home and family. And so the sun and Mercury are getting together and having that, all of the conversation and the insight and the unearthing of stuff that's been buried. But that moon in Taurus is saying, maybe to get away from the poisonous gases of home, you should go to work and find relief in the structures that are provided for you there, and find relief in the solidity of that. So this full moon can, I think, bring some balance and really an outlet for all of the energies that are getting stirred up at home. And one more thing I want to say about the full moon and really both of the lunations this month, which is that both of them are loaded with harmony and not very much stress at all, which suggests that this full moon could be similar to the Epiphany day, a moment when there's a big, pressure release from all of the tension of Mercury retrograde, so it can be cathartic and it doesn't even have to hurt. And you can find out more about both moons in the November news playlist on our YouTube channel at Pandora Astrology. You'll feel the effects of these moons usually for 3 days surrounding them. So the full moon's on the 12th. You'll feel it from the 11th to the 13th. The new moon coming later this month on the 26th, you're going to feel that from the 25th to the 27th. And here it is in Sagittarius in your 5th house. And what could be a better place for you, Leo, than your 5th house? It's hard to imagine. This is the house you love the best. It's the house of creativity and self-expression, fun, love affairs, entertainment, just being playful. That great stuff that Julia was talking about with Venus. So when the sun and the moon meet up there, there's this wonderful feeling of new beginnings to creative projects, new beginnings to self-expression, new beginnings to self-discovery. I've been calling this the party moon before winter. It's the last new moon before the year gets even darker. And this particular moon is a really great time to gather people together under the umbrella of shared, shared ideas and ideals. Even people who are very different from each other can be gathered together under this moon. And that would be a really nice thing to do. I think that's all we have for you this month, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. You'll always find our horoscopes at pandoraastrology.com/horoscope, or you can find them on our YouTube channel, Pandora Astrology, gathered into a horoscope playlist. And if you were thinking of having an astrology reading this month, I think it's pretty clear that all of those family themes and the creativity themes that are going on this month would suggest that possibly a family soul group reading would be the one that could help you to clarify, what is that stuff from the past? How is it impacting the future? And what can you do from your position in the present to help the future be better and not a repeat of the past? So thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure. And we'll see you next month around the cosmos. Bye-bye.